welcome to our key metrics video tutorial. You'll be on this lesson here, and you would have remembered from our last lesson that we used the cupcake example to start to fill out our food cost and price spreadsheet. And we left out step number 9, which was to do with the key metrics. So hopefully you've read this lesson so far and you've realised that there are 3 key metrics that you need to work out. And don't worry, you don't need to work these out separately for each food product. Microsoft Excel really helps to do this instantly for you. So I'm going to show you using the food cost and price spreadsheet how to do this. All right. So make sure you've downloaded the food cost and price spreadsheet first from the previous lesson. And I'm going to open up the one I've been working on now. So here's the cupcake recipe that we worked on, and we remembered that one cupcake cost 19 pence to make, and I've been working on a new recipe for lemon and blueberry muffins. Now this one, more expensive, it costs me 52 pence per muffin to make, so that's quite expensive, and I think that's got to do with the blueberries. Look at that here. So an adjustment I could make to that recipe would be to reduce the amount of blueberries or to buy cheaper blueberries, or maybe go frozen and see how that works out. But we're just going to leave that there now because I think it demonstrates quite nicely the comparing and contrasting between products. Okay, so you would do this for all the different food products you'd make. So I've only got 3 cards here, but you can obviously copy and paste them down there. All right. Then you're going to click onto the final tab in the spreadsheet, price list. And this is the thing that we need to fill out here with the key metrics. We've got food cost, gross profit margin, and markup. Fabulous. So I'm going to write in here cupcakes. I'm just going to put cupcake because we're only going to be selling one at a time. And then I'm going to put muffin. Right, so the cost, I press equals, I go back to my recipe card. The cost per cupcake is 19 pence. I click on that cell and press enter. Instantly it changes. This is what I like about Microsoft Excel. It's very responsive and very clever. And there you go. You can see here, wow, there's quite a big difference between the cost of making a cupcake versus a lemon and blueberry muffin. Price. Now, you will remember from the cost and price lesson that pricing decisions, they're up to you. Costs are facts. We know the hard numbers. Pricing, that is company policy and depends, that it's influenced by so many factors: marketing, psychological factors, location, all sorts of things. All right, so make sure you review that lesson before making pricing decisions. I'm going to make quite a quick pricing decision here. I'm going to think, okay, let's say I'm selling one cupcake for £1, okay, and I'll sell a muffin for £1.50. In order to work out my food cost percent, a reminder, you can just go up to the formulas here. Food cost percent is the cost of ingredients divided by the sales price of a product. So the cost of ingredients is 19 pence and the sales price is £1. Right, so I'm dividing it, those two there. Right, and you'll notice that that's not in a percentage formula. So I'm just going to go into Excel, right click, format cells, go to percentage. You only probably want one decimal place, and there you go, voila, we've got 18.9%. Now I don't need to input that formula in again from scratch. I just need to go and hover on, find that black cross, drag and drop it there. And yeah, you can see the muffin food cost percent is a lot higher. Gross profit, let's review again using the lesson, is the sales price of a product minus the cost of ingredients. So simply, sales price minus the cost of ingredients. Right? Gross profit is 81 pence for the cupcake muffin. Again, I'm not inputting that formula from scratch. I'm just dragging it down. 98. Okay? Next cell, gross profit margin. Now this relates to the gross profit which we've just worked out divided by the sales price of a product. So gross profit, which we've just worked out, divided by the sales price. Okay? And again, we need to format that. Percentage, one decimal place. Here we go. Brilliant. Okay, markup. That is made up of the gross profit divided by the cost of ingredients. I need to work that out. the price of ingredients, which is 19 pence. Right, and you do need, as you've guessed, to format the cells to show a percentage. Right, brilliant. So here we go. We've worked out the key metrics for 2 of our baked products, which is fantastic. Now, you can see the more products you have, the more you'd have to do this for. But it's very important data, and I'm going to just explain exactly why, and it's within the lesson as well. Cost, facts, this is all dependent on the ingredient prices, but obviously you can make changes to reduce costs. Prices, you decide. If you're setting up in a really posh area or in a train station where there's a lot of passing traffic and a lot of demand, you could charge maybe £2 or £3 for something. But if you're setting up in a different area with other factors you need to consider, then you might want to do a more budget price, or £1, £1.50. And that's fine. Food cost percent. Now, what we've said here, we've got some guidelines on the top here. A typical food cost percent in the catering industry is 25 to 35. So you really want to be hitting something within that mark. Now, the muffin is just on the cusp of being a bit too much, right? So maybe I might decide that I actually want to sell it for £2. And look what happens to the food cost percent. It goes down because I'm selling it at a high price. So you can kind of work out and fiddle around with this. So now it falls really quite comfortably between those guidelines. You want the food cost percent to be low, and you want the gross profit and the gross profit margin to be higher, right? You want gross profit margin, you want it to be around 60 to 85%. Because they're baked goods, they tend to be higher. If you're talking about something like steak or meat, that gross profit margin tends to be lower, so you need to mix it up a little bit. Okay, so we're within the guidelines, which is brilliant. Now, markup. You want markup to be around 300 to 400%, okay? And, yep, we're around about that mark with that. So you can just use this table. It's very responsive to just fiddle around with prices. Maybe I sell the cupcake at £1.50. Will I still be within those guidelines, right? Look how low the food cost percent is in that case, to only 12.6, whereas in the typical catering industry it might be between 25 to 35%, right? But that's what happens when you're you're selling goods like cupcakes or muffins or loaves, because the cost of ingredients themselves are quite low, okay? You might decide, oh, can I get away with selling it for 80p? Yeah, see what happens with those. So that's a little bit of a overview of how you can use this one spreadsheet with all your recipe cards in it, your cost of ingredients database as well, all relating to get this information here, right? And this information is gold. This information are your business secrets, really, so you don't really want to share this around. But here you go. I've hopefully explained how to work out key metrics using Excel, and hope that you can find a lot of use out of this as well.